We want to welcome everyone tonight to the Wall Hawks matchup versus the Grape Creek Eagles. This is Chad Curry, your play-by-play announcer. Along with me with Larry Holscher, our color commentary. Two former football coaches enjoying a Friday night and hoping you guys at home are watching with us here on the Concho Sports Network. The Wall Hawks come into tonight's matchup at 4-1, and the Grape Creek Eagles come into tonight's matchup at 0-5. But this will be the start of district, and Wall actually has three in a second home game in a row with a third one coming up next Friday as well. And so kind of an interesting schedule there for the Wall Hawks, but I'm excited to be here on a Friday night. Great weather and great crowd. As we get started here again, Chad Curry is your play-by-play and Larry Holscher is your color commentary. Coach Holscher, what's kind of your thoughts or opening statements kind of get into tonight's game?
Well, you just said it. I mean, we're starting district right here, and what's the most important game? It's always the next one. And what's the most important game in district? That's the first one, because you definitely want to wake up Saturday morning with a 1-0 record in district, because that's going to extend your season. So to me, that's what tonight's about. You got a district game, and you better get up for it, because if you don't, anything can happen.
No, absolutely. That's one of the great things about Friday Night Football. It is just one game. As we've seen last week, some turnovers, some situations could end up hurting you. So Wall needs to come out ready to go. You see an opponent, and you see they've struggled this year. You know, how hard is that for a coach to get his team up and ready for that if the kids are being distracted by that record?
You know, I never talked about the record of the other team during the week. What we wanted to worry about was what we did on the field, you know, and I would assume, and you know, that's never good, but I would think that these coaches from Wall are not talking a whole lot about Grape Creek. They're talking about fixing the stuff from last week that was so bad. You know, fumbles. They had 8 or 9 fumbles now. They only lost 5 of them, but that's a concern that you've got to get fixed. And it doesn't matter who your opponent is on the other side of the field. That's something that you've got to fix on Monday through Thursday.
No, absolutely. And here come the Hawks tonight. Again, we're on the Pixelcast Media pregame show. Again, want to welcome everyone to being here, especially to all of our sponsors. We'll talk about that tonight. But we also want to make sure that First Community Federal Credit Union is the one who's putting on the whole presentation, with also Church Landscape and Oasis Crop Insurance and Texas Bank as well. We're going to take a quick break and come back. There's 5:40 till kickoff, and so we'll let some of our sponsors here get some of their commercials in, so please make sure you pay attention to them. But again, what a wonderful night for Friday Night Football. We'll come back with some more comments here as we get the game going.
First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa is a giant of a credit card. With great low rates, no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, and even a rewards option, First Community's Platinum Visa is the card for you. With security as a high priority, you can lock your card in case it's lost, stolen, or just to limit its use. So be smart, bank smart with First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa.
Cotton farming in the Concho Valley, that's risky business. Specializing in crop insurance and serving local family farmers for over 15 years, Oasis Crop Insurance understands those risks firsthand. That's why year in and year out, from the first seed you plant to the last boll you harvest, Oasis Crop Insurance is your risk management partner.
Oasis Crop Insurance, service from paradise.
Patriotic,
innovative,
dependable,
family values,
faith,
trustworthy,
ethical,
community-minded,
loyalty,
honesty,
diverse,
friendly, committed,
punctual, customer service.
These are the values on which we built Bug Express.
Mom, we are honored to carry on your legacy.
Established in 1927, Schertz Landscape Company is as well rooted in the Texas soil as the nursery stock we grow and sell. Since the beginning, our knowledgeable landscape professionals have been here to keep your yard thriving, rain or shine. At Schertz, we believe in keeping our nursery stocked with quality products that flourish in the conditions we live in. We call the Concho Valley home, and you can trust us to have the answers for your project, big or small. When quality counts, you can depend on Schertz.
At VGI Technology, our mission is to connect and protect our communities using innovative technologies while providing an exceptional customer experience. Everyone on our team took part in creating this mission statement, and everyone on our team is committed to stand by every word. So for your home and office internet, security, cameras, and smart technology, call on your neighbors at locally owned VGI. VGI, to connect and protect.
Good, and welcome back. You're watching the Wallhawks Football on Concho Sports Network, presented by First Community Federal Credit Union. We have about 3 minutes left in the Pixelcast Media pregame show. Again, the Hawks come into tonight at a 4-1 record. Grape Creek comes in tonight 0-5. Coach, you mentioned a little earlier we were in between the commercials there, some injuries on Grape Creek's side. How hard is that when you're 0-5? You got injuries, stacking up on your team to kind of keep your team motivated for a Friday night game?
Oh, to me, it's really tough, as a coach. If you're in that situation, you've got guys that are injured, guys that may be missing for this reason or that, and it's tough for you to stay focused because you're constantly thinking at times what could be, and you've got to wash your mind of that and concentrate, just like Wall on the other side has to concentrate on, okay, what can we do right now with the guys we've got? And form your game plan around that. And then in the middle of the week, if you have to pivot, that's tough to do. Yep. But still, that's got to be your mindset. You try not to talk about that guy missing or this guy's hurt or anything. You try to avoid that. You don't, because, or at least I always did, because the way I looked at it was those guys were going to get enough talk out in the community. They didn't need that on the practice field around me. We just need to go to work. And I think if you adopt that philosophy, you can set yourself up for Friday night pretty good.
No, absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize, too, but especially even at a 3A level or even lower, those injuries do mount up to not only offense, defense, but special teams. And so that's something Grape Creek's going to have to face tonight. They're looking for their first win. It looks like Grape Creek did win the toss, and they elected to receive, so the Hawks will be kicking off. Again, your Wallhawks are in the green shirts and the white bottoms. From your screen going left to right or north to south, and Grape Creek Eagles are in their white tops and black pants for it. And so, but again, what a great night for football, great weather. The cold front came in about mid-afternoon today. I think there's a little bit of rain in north part of San Angelo. We had some sprinkles at our house before I left, which was kind of nice.
Wow, that's a blessing.
Yeah, we'll take that where we can. But a great time to start. It looks like we are on the field, and first quarter's about to get going. Again, this will be the Shirts Landscape opening kickoff. Hawks looking to make sure they can improve from what they did last week in a tough win versus Mason. And Grape Creek Eagles looks to get themselves started off here on a good note.
Set to kick us off tonight is number 15.
All right, so Pierce Jamison has the ball teed up, about to kick it off for the Battle of the Green Birds.
There you go.
Of Tom Green County.
Pierce Jamison, number 15, is a senior, 6 foot 160. Been very impressive with his kicks off in the games we've seen.
He's a really good kicker for this level. Really for any level, but it's amazing when you get a 3A Division II that's got a kicker like he is.
No, absolutely. Looks like number 10 for the Wallhawks, or is that 18? Making the tackle, and so it sets up a 1st and 10 for the Eagles, and this will be on the Eagles' 23-yard line.
So we should see a lot of power formations out of Grape Creek, a lot of double tight, some sniffer formations here. We got a tight, double tight wing formation with a sniffer right by the center, and they're just going to run a simple ISO where the sniffer's the lead back up on the linebacker, and Wall stops them for 2.
Yeah, just right there. Met him at the hole, helped create the pile. Everybody rallied to it. Set up a 2nd and 8 now for the Eagles.
What we'll see tonight, sometimes out of that formation, they'll direct snap it to that sniffer if he's right off the inside leg of that guard and try to like a little dive play with it. Won't even touch the quarterback's hand. They'll fake a toss or a OZ.
Yeah, last week we saw with Mason some under center, 2-back. This week, seeing like I said, the single wing.
There's just an OZ right there, outside zone. Looks like he's going to fall forward for another couple to set up a 3rd and 6.
Manageable for them. But that single wing, especially any type of misdirection and being piled in there, it can help. It can cause some maybe missed assignments for the Wallhawks. Talk about, Coach, how disciplined they need to be in kind of their defense and how they play this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you run a lot of misdirection, out of a single wing, it can be really tough. Like right there, you got a counter to that little wing back. So if you're keying that quarterback and running back and all of a sudden they go one way and
coming in, it looked like it was there, but they kind of slipped off a block, but then the Hawks almost missed a tackle there. But then a great kind of wrap up there by Matt Steen, number 4.
Right, and that was a really good job as well by the corner on this side and the safety to stay at home and trust what their keys were telling them to do.
Hawks don't have anybody deep back. They let the ball roll. Eagles are going to down it on the Walls 41-yard line. That's about a
25-yard punt, right.
Hawks will start their drive around the
And so Hawks will have an Oasis crop insurance first down to start from their own 42-yard line. Eagles didn't get much started, but there's a couple plays in there, 3 or 4 yards carry. You can definitely see that counter for the wing coming back because it looked like it was there and available.
Yes, sir. That's going to be their key tonight, is not being so direct like an ISO and dive, but more crossbuck series or counters. Anything that's misdirection is going to be their friend tonight, I think, especially with the aggressive defense like Walls. And that's going to be Matthew Steen right there taking that ball for 10 yards, almost 11 for another Oasis crop insurance first down.
You know, one of our crew guys tonight, so we're trying to manually handle this with a few ways, and so bear with us on that. But the Texas Bank Instant Replay kind of show we ended up breaking a tackle right at the line of scrimmage and getting 11 yards on the play. Get closer.
So Wall's going to pull their own wingback counter once again to Matthew Steen, and he's going to be good for another 8 yards, so he's up to 18 yards, 19 yards on the evening.
Good play for him. That misdirection we talked about earlier. A great tackle by number 1 for Grape Creek. He said 2nd and 1 from the Eagles' 38-yard line. Hawks come again in their little tight formation.
This is going to be Gunnar Dillard just keeping the ball this time just coming around with it himself. He fakes the dive and keeps it right off of tackle for about 12 yards.
Yeah, right there are 3 plays in a row where it looks like the Hawks have been able to pick up some pretty big chunks of yards. And so they can maintain this, keep pushing the ball in the end zone. That's a great way to kind of set up themselves for this first half.
Absolutely.
So another Oasis crop insurance first down.
You know, and that's something we talked about last week, is if you can establish your run game and go right at them, that's tough on a defense. This time they're going to pitch it out to Dane Reynolds, who's going to turn the corner, cut it up for about 6 yards.
Good run, good edge blocking on the outside. Found a little seam, cut in there, got about 6-7 yards for the play. Setting up a 2nd and 4.
But they are now in the Shirts Landscape red zone.
Looking to punch one in here to start off early. I mean, if you're going to start on defense, especially the first half, you can get that stop, the 3-and-out, which they did, go back and counter with a touchdown. You put yourself in pretty good momentum play going forward.
Absolutely, especially if you can kill a little clock while you're doing it. He's going to pull it this time. It's a really good job of faking the pitch and turning it up right there by Gunnar Dillard. And that's going to be good for about 9 yards and another first down.
Yeah, 1st and goal now from the 6-yard line. Hawks are switching out personnel in and out as they kind of work down the field here. Grape Creek's doing the same, but they only suited up 19 tonight. We counted on the sideline. It looks like there's about 4 or 5 kids that are injured. We mentioned that in the pregame show. And so, again, Wall's got probably a little more depth tonight, and that'll help them as the game goes on. But Grape Creek looking for a stop.
That's just going to be a toss out to that freshman Barbie, and he's going to be into the end zone for a Wall Hawk touchdown.
Great touchdown, great blocks, great edge play there.
I apologize. That was Canyon McCabe. I just saw the 3 and looked like a 2.
Canyon McCabe, junior, 5'6", 145. We mentioned him last week. He is a lightning in a bottle. You almost kind of want to get on the edge of your seat when he has that ball in his hands. You don't know what he might be able to do.
Absolutely. You better watch the belt on that young man, or he'll leave your sneakers sitting there and you're going somewhere else.
Well, he did a fantastic job as a holder right there. The ball came behind him that he caught, put it back on the place for the Pierce Jamison attempted kick, but the kick was no good. But again, the snap was wired right, so it's kind of a tough one to bring back down. But the Hawks are up 6-0, 6:56 to go. We're going to take a quick break and then come right back here for the kickoff here for Wall.
At VGI Technology, our mission is to connect and protect our communities using innovative technologies while providing an exceptional customer experience. Everyone on our team took part in creating this mission statement, and everyone on our team is committed to stand by every word. So for your home and office internet, security, cameras, and smart technology, call on your neighbors at locally owned VGI. VGI, to connect and protect.
First Community Federal Credit Unions.
And we're back again. Thank you for joining us on the Wall Hawks Football Concho Sports Network, presented by First Community Federal Credit Union. Right now the score is 6-0 with 6:56 left in the first quarter. Hawks get a stop early defensively versus the Eagles, then march it down the field, 57 yards for a Canyon McCabe touchdown. Missed the extra point, and so that's where we are right now, 6-0. Pierce Jamison puts it in the end zone. Again, for a 3A kicker, we mentioned that. He's got a great leg. He's a great weapon, especially on the special team side for it. But right now, Grape Creek sets up on its 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Grape Creek Eagles. And Coach, you couldn't ask for a better first possession, first stop, first things like that.
No, if you're a Wall Hawk player, fan, coach, you're very pleased with both first possessions, them on defense and then again on offense. We're going to come right back out to the single wing with that sniffer. And this is going to be an OZ to the right. Finds a little hole, back off to the left, cuts it back for about 3 yards.
Set to 2nd and 7, and so if you're watching at home, you can see in the backfield both the quarterback and running back have their hands up. We talked about that direct snap. You know, you don't see this offense very often anymore, which again can be a challenge in prepping for that. But you know, we've mentioned this before. I think last week I had an old coach tell me you got to be better, you got to be different. Well, their offense is different, and so we're looking for some of the things they can do that maybe Wall doesn't see very often.
Right. You know, I would go out on a limb anytime you got a sniffer. If you're at home, how many times do they go away from the sniffer's movement? Probably not many. I bet they're almost 100%.
Well, I got confused on that play. That ball was snapped to the sniffer. You can watch it in the text back instant replay. I'm watching the two quarterbacks
runs into the other sniffer.
Yeah, so.
But that was a direct snap right to the sniffer on the left, and he's going out the outside.
Yeah, 2nd and 3 now. But you mentioned it earlier on the counter they showed, that staying home and being disciplined, especially on the backside of the defense. If kids start trying to cheat over and do somebody else's job, that can be a chance where it springs open big for the Grape Creek Eagles.
Absolutely. That time, once again, the corner stayed home and made a pretty good play over there, as well as the DN.
3rd and 2 now for the Grape Creek.
Go right back to that OZ. He's found that little creased right off tackle and that cutback alley.
Yeah, he'll pick up 2 or 3 yards. That time he gets 1.5 yards, but set up 4th and 1. They're going to give him the first down for it. So first down now for the Grape Creek Eagles. And so Hawks switching some personnel back and forth.
Usually that cutback lane is either going to be a backside linebacker or flow and safety. So it'll be kind of curious as the night goes on how Wall adapts to that.
1st and 10 for the Eagles on the 35-yard line. 4:54 left to go in the first quarter.
Here's that counter again, or reverse, however you want to call it.
Yeah, great play there. Looks like by number 38.
Looks like all they're doing is pulling that sniffer.
Well, I said 38 there, but I don't have it on the roster, so.
But once again, that sniffer's taking you to the play.
Yeah, and great defensive stop. 2nd and 11 now. You know, with 2 running teams like tonight, I wouldn't be surprised that clock gets moving pretty fast.
Oh, this should be once again, if you got it to order food, I'd do it now, and it'd be there about halftime.
That's right.
And halftime's going to happen pretty fast. That's going to be a snap. It's going to be picked up by Grayson Tanner, and it's going to be Wall Hawk football in the red zone, the Shirts Landscape red zone, immediately at the 20.
Absolutely. That was a great play there by Jason Sellers there. Grayson Tanner, apologize that, senior 5'9", 135. Always was able to take it up to the house, but great play. And so you mentioned earlier, though, I'm going to go and talk about it now during the segment for it. But if you are hungry, Angelo to Go is one of our sponsors. Angelo to Go is the official delivery service of Concho Sports Network. You can have a great food delivered to your door right now while you can. They do have an app that you can order from. But 1st and 10 for the Hawks.
They're going to put it in the air on a flag route, and it's just outside the reach of Canyon McCabe.
Yeah, 27 Luke Kemp on that one, Coach.
No, it was Luke.
Yeah, I heard the announcer kind of mix that in there for it. But great ball by Gunnar Dillard. Put it right over his hands, over his shoulder, and just didn't quite come down within the end zone. But Hawks trying to take advantage of that turnover, make a big play right off the start. 2nd and 10 now for the Hawks.
Going to be handoff once again to McCabe. He's going to try to get around the corner, but only gain about 3.
Yeah, you can tell he's looking for a cutback lane somewhere there. Just never really developed there. So the Eagles did a great job extending him to the sideline, setting up a 3rd and 7.
Yes, sir. Their fits were really good. They didn't give him that cutback that he was looking for. And bring up a 3rd and 7? Is that what you just said?
3rd and 7 now. 3:32 left in the first quarter. Ball's on the 19-yard line.
Pitch out to, should be Steen, and he's going to score. Matthew Steen rumbling it in from 19 yards out for a Wall Hawk touchdown.
Great job by the Hawks there running their veer option. We talked about last week, too, you know, do what you do well and do it often. They came back to that on 3rd and 8, able to get a great pitch on the outside edge, and Steen brings it 19 yards in for a touchdown. And so the extra point again by Pierce Jamison. Last time, again, the extra point was missed. Ball was snapped behind the holder's hands. We'll see if they can put this one in. But Hawks taking advantage of the early turnover from Grape Creek Eagles.
Much better snap, hold, and
Okay,
it's good.
Everything's good. Perfect. 3:15 left to go. Like I said, what we have this time right now, I'm going to talk about the Pixelcast Media. Hey fans, you know that Concho Sports Network is the Pixelcast Media brand. Yes, all content you see from CSN, including these live broadcasts, is produced by San Angelo's own Pixelcast Media. There's no better way to get your story out to the world than with video, and no one in San Angelo does it quite like Pixelcast Media. So if you'd like to expand your brand in San Angelo and West Texas, give us a call at Pixelcast Media, 325-486-0300. That's 325-486-0300. So Hawks taking advantage of the turnover. Grape Creek's down 2 scores. I'm sure the coaches you can see right now on the field are talking to the players over at Grape Creek. You know, keep them engaged and keep them, you know, with some energy. It's 13-0 in the first quarter, but they've had a down season so far. You know, mostly trying to make sure you guys can keep doing your job and keep getting better because they still have 4 more games to go after this.
That's the key. I mean, and that's what you got to keep preaching is just do your job. You know, life ain't always going to be great. Keep doing your job, and let's see if we can't turn this thing around a little bit.
And Hawks on our side, you know, listen, up 13-0, you're playing well. You got to keep doing your job.
Yeah,
you turn over the other way.
The conversation doesn't change either way. That's the way life is. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's bad. Just keep doing your job.
It's one of the best things that sports teaches us. So a kickoff by Pierce Jamison goes into the end zone. Grape Creek Eagles will start on their own 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 with 3:15 to go. Grape Creek had a little bit of momentum there in getting a first down. Unfortunately, the turnover caught them in that 4th or 5th play.
But yeah, they were moving the ball really well until that snap was kind of over the quarterback's head. But, yeah, no, it was a great job. We'll see if they can extend it. Not that way. So they try that little ISO again, and it's going to be a scrum that it may make a yard.
Yeah, like I said, right off the start, the Hawks kind of blew back the offensive line, and so the quarterback was almost trying to trying to avoid a tackle from as soon as he caught the snap.
That's a really good job by that DT over on this side.
I believe 30, Jaden Sellers, who I think it is, on the left side there, or it was, like I said,
maybe David Thompson as well right there at the defensive tackle. Him and Gidney, and I think you're right on Sellers as well.
Eagles spread it out a little bit.
They're going to try that little direct snap to the sniffer, and Wall sniffs that out a little bit better.
Yeah, 2nd and 7 now. We have not seen Grape Creek attempt to pass yet. Of course, we're getting into a pass situation, you know, and that's something that we've seen Wall have some success defending, but also had some struggles with it as well. Last week when Mason was able to start completing some passes, they were able to start driving the ball a little bit more on the Hawks. And so curious here what Grape Creek does on 3rd and 7. Well, we mentioned it earlier.
To be honest, I am too. I'm kind of curious what they're going to do. They're going to spread out into a spread set, so I could see a pass coming here.
False start, I believe, or timeout. Yeah, play clock is supposed to be winding down.
By Grape Creek.
First timeout by Grape Creek. As they have their timeout, we'll take our timeout as well. We'll come back and join. But again, you're watching the Wallhawks Football and Concho Sports Network, presented by First Community Federal Credit Union.
First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa is a giant of a credit card. With great low rates, no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, and even a rewards option, First Community's Platinum Visa is the card for you. With security as a high priority, you can lock your card in case it's lost, stolen, or just to limit its use. So be smart, bank smart with First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa.
Welcome back. Your Wallhawks are up 13-0 over the Grape Creek Eagles. There's 1:43 left to go in the first quarter. Grape Creek has the ball at their own 29-yard line, and it's 3rd and 7. Before they called a timeout, Grape Creek was spread, looking like some motion. Coach, you thought it might have been a little sprint out action, but now we're coming back in double tie.
Well, they're going to shift it back out to doubles again. Gun strong. Look like another sprint out. So they were going to stick with the play, and we got a flag this time.
Assuming false start.
For them to stop the play, I would think so. And that is the signal.
So it sets up about a 3rd and 10 for the Eagles.
False start against the Eagles.
I saw the sidelines over here motioning too. Last time when Grape Creek had to punt, if they get them to a punt, they didn't have anybody deep.
Right.
And so they already signaled down here to Luke Kemp to start walking down here in case they get that 4th down situation. But you know, that's frustrating for a coach, 3rd and 5, and you feel like you might have a good play.
Right, it was going to be a good play out to that little flat.
And so now that 10 yards is a little harder to get to than 5.
Yes, sir.
But 3rd and 10 for the Eagles.
Motion back out to doubles. Let's see if they stay with the sprint out. They got the maybe to this side since. Yep. Another sprint out, right out, and
great
the
tackle.
corner comes up. I do believe that's Ryan Allen and makes a vicious tackle.
Yes, on the Texas Bank Instant Replay, if you can watch this was a great hit.
There, don't ever like to see that in a game.
No.
You like to see a physical game, but nobody get injured off of it.
No, absolutely not. And so, like I said, we'll take a quick break as well. We'll see how long this goes for. Hopefully he's okay when we come back from break.
Cotton farming in the Concho Valley, that's risky business. Specializing in crop insurance and serving local family farmers for over 15 years, Oasis Crop Insurance understands those risks firsthand. That's why year in and year out, from the first seed you plant to the last boll you harvest, Oasis Crop Insurance is your risk management partner.
Yeah. 4th and 10 now. Grape Creek set in their punt formation. Luke Kemp back on the 45-yard line.
And the injured player for Grape Creek did get up and walk off on his own, so that's always a good sign. Luke Kemp finds the corner, He's going to push it up the field to about the 25.
Yeah, great return. Great tackle there for number 2 for the Eagles as well. Blockers were set up. Luke Kipster on the inside, then bounced it out. And so the Wall Hawks are getting themselves an Oasis Crop Insurance first down here from the Eagles. Looks like about the 25-yard lines where they're going to mark it at. 1:03 left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Luke Kemp actually showed a little speed once he hit that corner and hit that sideline. Kind of found another gear.
So Hawks switching in and out players. Getting Grape Creek suited up 19 tonight. And so hopefully the one that got a little wind knocked out and get back into the game.
That's what I thought. Sellers coming in. We're going to get in the true bone formation here and just run toss right.
You know, Nathan almost broke that. I said a great tackle by number 2, just holding on to the jersey that he could. But Nathan's one of those 2 as well. When that ball's in his hands, I mean, he's looking for some contact, and he's got the wheels also to kind of make the extra burst as well. But let's say a first down, an Oasis Crop Insurance first down for 10-yard pickup for Peppers.
In the Shirts Landscape red zone. That's going to be Sellers just running right in the middle of the defense for a, what was that, 15-yard touchdown right there by
Just
Sellers?
About. And with that power toss right with Pepper, they came back with Sellers, power toss left. Sellers just cut it back across the midfield. Safety met him there about the 5-yard line, but Sellers just drove it on in for a touchdown. So Pierce Jamison out here to kick. Looks like he nails that one. So extra point is good. So there's 34 seconds left in the first quarter. Your Wall Hawks are up 20-0. And like I said, you couldn't ask for a better start for the Wall Hawks. The only, I guess, blemish we have is the one missed extra point. But besides that, they've been able to pretty much be in control of this game early. Grape Creek has shown some flashes of their that single wing offense, making some plays on some misdirection. But an early turnover got them as well. And then now a bust on special teams, setting up a first and goal from the 25-yard line that led to our last score.
You know, this is really a unique single wing, what they're running out of it, because a lot of times the old wing T, it was built on misdirection. It was either misdirection or it was midline veer. So to see a lot more ISO and OZ or stretch, whatever you want to call it, is a little unique. It kind of gives this offense a little bit different flair than
you know, and one thing we don't know, we don't watch films as there are other games, things like that, but some of those injuries, I'm kind of curious if maybe they had to simplify some things because of the injuries they've had, and maybe why we're seeing just some straight ISO or things we wouldn't see normally in that single wing, but that could be what they've done all year as well. I'm just speculating up here as a former coach, just enjoying a Friday night game.
Right. I mean, I've seen them a little bit on film, but it's a unique offense. For sure, you ain't going to see what they're doing very often.
Yep. So Pierce Jameson setting up for the kickoff again. The last 2 have been into the end zone. And so we'll see if Pierce can do it again. Shirts Landscape kickoff.
And that one's going to hit on the goal line and go out as well.
Great kick by Pierce, and that's a great weapon to use. I was always one of those. I got a little more nervous probably on kickoff than others because at any point, just the kid, makes one person miss. He ends up catching that one block, and that's a big momentum play, especially on special teams. And so having a weapon to put it in the end zone all the time, it almost just puts your little mind at ease there as a head coach.
Oh yeah, especially to have a kicker that can do that at this level, that's a big deal, a huge deal.
First and 10 for the Eagles on their own 25-yard line. They have yet to cross the 50 yet.
It's just going to be that stretch to the left. And looks like Grayson Tanner. That could be, no, that's Ryan Allen that finally drags him down after about a 12-yard gain.
So I was kind of curious to see that. We're not doing the replay because when it goes to the replay, y'all can't hear us talk. But that quarterback, they've kind of run that outside. They've always cut it back in. That's the first time they've bounced it out. And you can kind of see that developing earlier if they could set that up. But they got I thought they got a few more yards than that, but sets up 2nd and 1 now for the Eagles.
They've got to have a pass off of that play. you know, just a straight release by the tight end, running a flag and a backside post. Be kind of curious if they pull that out at some point.
Yeah, especially as the wall keeps kind of creeping down here into the box. There's 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
All right. Oh, wow, that is a huge shot by a safety that just
Nathan Pepper, yeah. He
pinned his ears back and said, okay, let's go.
Yeah, he came downhill and saw that quarterback, you know, see ball, get ball, and he came there and laid a lick to it. That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Your Wall Hawks are up 20-0. We'll step back and do a quick commercial break, then come back and start the second quarter.
Cotton farming in the Concho Valley, that's risky business. Specializing in crop insurance and serving local family farmers for over 15 years, Oasis Crop Insurance understands those risks firsthand. That's why year in and year out, from the first seed you plant to the last boll you harvest, Oasis Crop Insurance is your risk management partner.
Oasis Crop Insurance, service from paradise.
Hey, we're coming back here. You're watching the Wall Hawks football on Concho Sports Network, presented by First Community Federal Credit Union. I believe the Eagles picked up the first down. Again, Nathan Pepper with a great hit coming down from the safety position. But things we've seen here, that's a first down by the Eagles. They got outside a little bit, got 9 yards, got the ISO play. Like I said, we have not seen a pass off of it yet. Something I'm sure the defense and Coach Slaughter and them are talking to the players right now. Make sure you stay home and stay disciplined. They've had some of the misdirection with the sniffer they've had some success with.
Yes,
but for the most part, Wall's defense has been pretty physical and pretty fast. We've seen that all year.
Yeah, it's a true Craig Slaughter defense. They play really aggressive, really fast. But right there, they had all 11 people within 4 yards of the ball.
Yeah, and they were looking right there, I think, to do a handoff for that little slot reverse, but we're bobbling the snap coming in, and then right off the start, the Wall Hawks got there and kind of messed it up in the beginning. I heard the announcer say that the freshman, again, Barbie in there on the play, Hagan.
Yes, sir. They blitzed or pressured from the outside both sides and created a 5-yard loss there.
Yeah, so 2nd and 15 now for the Eagles. Like you said, for the most part, the Hawks have been within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage.
There's just that quarterback stretch, or OZ, whatever you want to call it. He tried to cut it back inside to, I want to say Logan Thomas. And him and as well as Barbie was in on that tackle as well.
Yeah, you can tell from the line of scrimmage, you're seeing the Hawks almost explode back in it to creating setting a different wall about a yard or two deep, or even like right there, they're just holding up the offensive line and allowing the linebackers just to flow downhill.
And that's huge. If your linebackers can flow, that's what you want.
Like 3rd and 14 is what we have on the scoreboard. Yeah,
once again, that's going to be the same guys in on that with Barbie and
it's a Coulter Gilchrist, 57, a senior, on the tackle there as well.
As well as Logan Thomas. I mean, those linebackers flowed really well, and I want to say number 35, Brady Stone, was also in on that.
Yeah, quite a few Hawks getting in on the tackling. When we've seen that every week, they all fly to the ball. There's a true pursuit by the defense. They want to get to it. Set up a Luke Kemp return. Had a great return last time. And got a great Hawk bounce there to get it back to about the 39, 40-yard line. And the Wall Hawks will take over on their own as they mark it at the 40-yard line. So we'll have an Oasis Crop Insurance first down.
We're talking about the Wall Hawk defense. They're so fast. They fly around. They play with a purpose, and I think their purpose is they love Craig Slaughter so much that they would run, I think, dang near through a wall for the man, and they play like it.
Yep. Well, they have definitely been flying around, and we've seen on the offensive side too as well. Like I said, Sellers with the great runs. We've seen Kenny McCabe, Steen, Pepper as well. Dillard running the ball well too.
That looked like that might have been Guy, just on a dive right there off of the guard.
Yeah, that's what the announcer said too as well. But you can tell he hit that hole in a hurry and stayed about 2 yards off the ground there, trying to get some extra yards out of it. So 9:29 left to go. The Hawks, it's a 2nd and 4 from their own 46. And Wall subbing in players left and right.
They may want to call a timeout because they just broke a huddle with 12 out there on the field.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked we didn't hear a flag early on from that. This McCabe on the edge, trying to turn the corner.
McCabe's going to turn the corner and cut back, and then he's going to cut right back outside. Cut back. He's going to cross and score right here.
Oh, fantastic
Kenyon
run.
McCabe on a 54-yard touchdown run.
Fantastic run there by McCabe. Like I said,
just weaving through traffic on the sideline for a 54-yard touchdown.
No, fantastic. And I said you also saw those blockers blocking downfield, getting a body on somebody. And most people, if you're at home, you might not see that as much, but that's how big plays happen. It's that blocking downfield, it's staying connected, it's staying engaged. Again, we said earlier, everybody kind of doing their job.
Just doing their job.
So Pierce James is setting up for the extra point. Yep, and it's good there for Pierce Jamison. So the Hawks are up 27-0 with 8:55 left to go in the first quarter. Playing good ball. Like I said, now everybody's kind of having a little fun. Everybody's scoring a few touchdowns. You know, it's one of those. It's fantastic for your fans. You know, the Eagles are still are fighting their butts off, and like I said, so far tonight it's been a great night for the Wall Hawks.
Absolutely, you know, and this is when, if you're Wall, it starts getting a lot of fun. You know, and it's easy to go to work when it's fun. You know,
it definitely is. You know, one of my stops as a coach was for the Halton Buffaloes, and we were in the same district as South Lake Carroll
yes,
and Euless Trinity. And I'll never forget and seeing the Euless Trinity fans just stacked deep 3 or 4 quarters into it. And it finally hit me, well, they're beating everybody so much by 40, their parents can see everybody else get on the field and play. And so they all got excited. But I said, man, I can't believe they're staying for this thing. We were getting it kicked to us pretty good one of those years.
I'll tell you what, they were pretty good when I was coaching at Central, and we were in that district with Trinity and Haltom, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
We coached against, was it Kenny Hill that went to A&M and transferred to TCU. And I'll never forget watching film on Saturday. I think we probably sent like 10 blitzes, and we never even got close to him. And about
before he was called Trill, right?
Yeah, before he was called Trill. And about the 10th snap, one of our linebackers coach goes, Coach, just stop blitzing. We're not even getting close to him back there.
Yeah.
So
this time a little pooch kick. They're going to turn it around a little bit.
Yeah,
and the Grape Creek Eagle makes a really good play there of catching it and then working to get about 6 or 7 more yards.
Yeah, I got to about the 30-yard line. I almost thought I saw a hand kind of wave in there, but you know he did. But great play, made one person miss. You know, that's something. I mean, I'm kind of curious why they called that. Maybe just wanting to work on some different things as well.
It's a cool little tempo thing. I like it.
Yep.
You got to work on some stuff. So,
and especially later on as the district goes and even in the playoffs, you might have some kids back there that you might not want to kick it to.
The way I always looked at it, you know, everything's good for 2 quarters, man. And really the third is open game. After that.
A 22 there for the Wall Hawks came out with the ball. Ryan Andrews, of course, they blew the whistle dead. But for a second there, I think he thought he had a heck of a play.
Yeah, he was about to live it, man, running down the field.
So 2nd and 9 for the Grape Creek. So my one connection in Grape Creek, and this is my Wall connection, again, I graduated in 99. 98 or 99, it's been so long, I don't remember my own little history to it, but we were their first home opponent. We traveled from here to go play with their first varsity home opponent.
At their stadium.
Yeah, at their stadium.
Wow.
Ford. And so we did get a win that night, 20-0. Some old players I'm sure might be watching tonight, Will Weatherford and Ryan Hollick and a few others. Some of the Bradens, Corey Braden and others on the team.
I had a cousin on my mother's side that played for Grape Creek during that time, Josh Cavness. Pretty good little hurdler for him as well as a running back.
I'll never forget, they had a really tall quarterback, and we're watching in film and prep for it, and you can see some of our kids that were smaller and they're moving their feet as fast as they can, and that 6'4" quarterback, he looked like a deer just running kids down, and so they had a pretty good little squad. We just came out better that night for a win. But Great Creek's had some moments. We talked about last year, making the playoffs last year and co-district champions. Great tackle there by number 44.
That's Logan Thomas. That was a huge hit by Logan.
That's a great play for that. Hawks moving in about 4 or 5 different players right now. Which is great for Wall. 4th down now for the Eagles. Look like they're setting up their punt team again. And so, we talked a little bit. I had a few games as a head coach that, IRN put it on us pretty good, and that's never kind of fun coaching. But you're still working, you're still getting better. This is just the start of district. It's 27-0 right now, but even your special teams, you're wanting to work this with different kids.
That's Luke Kemp going to get the corner again, get upfield, and they're finally going to force him out about the 35.
Yeah, number 2 there for the Eagles with a good tackle.
But that's what good teams will do for you. They will make you better. You want to be at a higher level, go against higher level people. It'll naturally pull you there.
And we've seen that so far from the Hawks this year with the tough schedule that they've played. And Wall's battle tested 4-1. Only loss they had was to Cisco, but a couple turnovers in that game. It could have gone the other way, and that's been the one thing we haven't seen tonight. But we've seen other games is the turnover situation for Wall, and so again, that's why you play those tough teams to kind of work out all those kinks. That's that first part of the season. Now you're in your district, your second season.
That's just that smash right over here to Sellers again. He's going to rumble down to about the 15 into the Schertz Landscape red zone.
Great run there by Sellers. Getting lead blockers out front, that's what helps kind of open that up. It'll be an Oasis Crop Insurance first down from the Eagles, 16-yard line, 1st and 10.
They love the smash out of that bone formation now.
One of the best things about this offense that whether it's the bone or the flex, however, there's an answer for everything you do defensively for it. They've been around so long. They like this play out. There's Nathan Pepper trying to run people over to the end zone.
And he is going to run them over into the end zone for a Wall Hawk touchdown from 16 yards out.
Nathan Pepper with a great run, 16-yard touchdown. He said you saw the speed and you saw the power there at the end. Hawks are up 33-0 right now with 5:42 left to go in the second quarter. And again, as we're waiting here for the extra point, we want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Again, the Concho Sports Network is presented by First Community Federal Credit Union. We mentioned earlier San Angelo to go. If you're at home right now wanting to get something to eat, shop local, use the app. Fantastic company and definitely huge supporters of ours.
PAT is good, and that will make it 34-0.
And so 5:42 left to go. Hawks are doing well and playing well. And like I said, right now, just keep working on what they're doing to give themselves some confidence. We keep this game going on. And as we look here, I'm going to bring up my app. There's some other games going on tonight. We'll address these scores during halftime. But if I can get my app, I'll kind of bring that up too in case you're watching at home. If my phone will load. It's working on it. All right, here we go. So San Angelo Central is up 14-10 over the Midland Bulldogs. Sonora is up 13-0 over Ozona. Cristoval's beating the Anthony Wildcats 21-0. Anthony had to travel to Cristoval. If y'all didn't know, that is the farthest game in Texas that anybody will travel this year.
That's a long drive, huh?
Anthony is west of El Paso, if you didn't know where that was. Brady is up 21-0 over TLCA. Anson Tigers are up 15-0 over Winters. Hawley is up 35-0 over Colorado City. Albany is up 14-0 over the Miles Bulldogs. El Dorado and Winker 0-0. And Pierce Jameson with the kickoff, working the pooch kick again.
It's going to drop about the 20-yard line, and he's going to rumble up to about the 27.
Great coverage there by the Hawks. The whole group of them. Looks like number 2 is the one who pops up. Dayton Reynolds off the tackle.
On the return.
He does a really good job on that pooch kick because it gets pretty high up in the air. You'd like for it to hit around the 25, maybe get a little higher. That way, all you can do is fair catch it. That's where we always aim for, was around the 25.
Set up a 1st and 10 for the Eagles from their own 27-yard line. Pursued by the backside there for the Hawks. Trying to get a number there. 51 is what I'm seeing. Yeah, Carter Aldridge on the tackle. Junior, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Good hustle there from the backside. Setting up 2nd and 11. 5:10 to go, and the clock is working down.
There's that counter, and this time it's going to be the backside.
I saw Carter Aldridge, but there's also a number 30 trying to track it all. I don't know if my eyes are just getting that bad. I can't see. So I think I could. These are the jerseys just aren't helping me very well. Those numbers are getting tied in there. But 3rd and 15 for the Hawks.
That was Coulter Gilchrist coming from the backside tackle to make that initial contact.
Fantastic play. So again, we've seen Grape Creek throw once. They've kept the ball on the ground and kept it running.
There's going to be a sprint out pass. And it looks like the flag's covered up, and he's going to send it down the field anyway. And it's going to be caught by 33.
Well, great catch by number 33 for the Eagles. Just kind of snuck in behind the Hawks. You can tell their bodies were covered. But all the defensive players for the Hawks kind of undercut the play, and a great pass by the quarterback. 1st and 10 now for the Eagles on the Wall 40-yard line.
So that was a corner that kind of bit on that, and the backside linebacker is the one that cleans it up.
A big play. That's the first momentum play we've seen for Grape Creek. Seems this will continue on.
You know, and now they just same little stretch, and he finds a gap in that Wall Hawk defense and pushes it up the field for another 8 yards.
Now set up a 2nd and 3 for the Eagles, but two positive plays there for Grape Creek. Like I said, you know, Wall gets to sit here and try to tighten it up a little bit, keep them out of the end zone, but there's 3:24 left to go till halftime.
You know, and that was a really good catch by 33 because he was catching it with people around him, and then made a lot of really good positive yards off of it.
So 6 seconds left in the play clock. I'm assuming we're going to get a timeout here from Grape Creek. Yep, there's the timeout right there. So we'll take a quick timeout as well, then we'll come back and join here. But 3:03 left. The Wall Hawks are up 34-0 in the second quarter.
Patriotic.
Innovative.
Dependable.
Family values.
Faith.
Trustworthy.
Ethical.
Community minded.
Loyalty.
Honesty.
Diverse.
Friendly. Committed.
Punctual. Customer service.
These are the values on which we built Bug Express.
Mom, we are honored to carry on your legacy.
All right, we are back. The Wall Hawks are up 34-0 with 3:03 left in the second quarter. Hawks so far tonight have been dominating on both sides of the ball and special teams. But Grape Creek with about a 30-yard catch and then a 7-yard run sets us up for 2nd and 3 now from the Wall's 33-yard line.
Yes, sir. Grape Creek's knocking on the door. This time it's a direct pitch to the left quarterback. But, of course, you know, you're noticing both of them can take the snap. They're both ready for it. That's just an OZ for a gain of maybe 2.
Maybe 2 is what I'm. Well, yeah, maybe 2 on that. Or maybe went back about a yard. Logan Thomas, another great tackle. But 3rd and 3, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more of a pass play coming out of here, unless they feel good about a misdirection or something to try to catch up half these yards, and I'm sure they'll go for it if they don't get the first down.
Well, they're definitely running the same play that set up the last pass for sure. That stretch pass looks like a sprint out, but so does the stretch, you know.
2:15 left to go in the first half.
This is going to be the wingback counter.
Great cut by number 1 to get something out of that. Gets about a yard, but the Hawks met him in the backfield before. Should have been about a 3-yard loss, but great run and cut by number 1 there. So setting up a 4th and 3. 1:56 left to go.
You know, and Logan Thomas was a linebacker that was there so fast. I'd be curious to see if he ain't keying that sniffer that's right behind the center, because he was the lead blocker, and he flowed right almost immediately.
So there's 10 seconds left. I think Grape Creek's going to take another timeout, probably work this clock all the way down. They don't want to leave much time for Wall in case they don't get the first down. And there's another timeout, but we'll stay here for that. Again, I want to thank all of our sponsors tonight: Shirts Landscape, Texas Bank Instant Replay, Oasis Crop Insurance, First Community Federal Credit Union, San Angelo to Go, College Hills Bodega. And again, just want to remind fans too, if you'd like to watch Concho Sports Network games on TV live in high definition, all you have to do is install the CSN on your Roku or Amazon. Or if you're like us at our house, our TV has YouTube you can bring it up on. You can install them now on either device just by searching Concho Sports, and it'll come up, and you can put this on your TV at the house. My wife did not know that, so she's been watching for her phone for 2 years now. And so I was like, just bring it up on the app. And so she's watched it from the TV instead of her phone tonight.
She could have screen mirrored that thing.
Yeah. Well, I think
that's about all I know how to do. I don't have the streaming services.
She's done that now, and I'm not a very technological person, but I know the TVs now. You can put in the YouTube app, and you can find it on that.
Yes, sir.
4th and 3 here.
Well, you got me a question. I'll ask it after this play. So we go doubles with the sprint out. The receiver kind of falls down, and that's going to be a really big play by Briggs Jones to knock that thing out on that 4th and down.
Yeah, that was a great play, great coverage. Didn't give him much room. Back to 33 who made the catch earlier. You can see the quarterback just couldn't quite get on that edge outside to go make a play. And that forced kind of the throw, and it was still a good target to it, but great defensive play.
Absolutely. All right, so you were talking about YouTube and being able to watch Concho Sports on YouTube. Does that also work on YouTube TV? I don't know if they're two different apps or not.
So they are two different because one of our friends tonight at home, Sergio and Tiffany, are trying to watch it from their YouTube TV, and they couldn't get it. I think we got them on just the YouTube itself.
On the actual app.
On the app. And so some TVs have the app that you can just download on your TV.
So Wall's going to sprint out and send it down, and he might have got his feet in, but he looked like he had him on the white, and sure enough, they're calling him out.
So, of course, you don't get instant replay, but one foot was in the green, one was in the right, in the white. Would love to see which one came down first, but we don't have that benefit. But Hawks trying to take a play here. There's a minute 14 to go. Hawks do have all 3 of their timeouts.
You know, and that's Bills now coming in at quarterback. On a sprinting out left, that's tough for a right-hand quarterback to turn his shoulders and send it down the field like that. And he did a pretty good job of it.
No, yeah, he put it in a good spot, just a little bit wide. Yeah, my son plays a quarterback on his little 8U flag football, and he's learning how hard that is sometimes to throw on the run. Hawks just get about 3 yards there on the run.
A right-hand quarterback going left is just as tough as a left-hand quarterback going right.
Nope.
You just got to turn your shoulders or start sprinting towards where you're trying to throw it.
3rd and 7 for the Hawks, 56 seconds to go till halftime. They're going to run this one out.
And he's going to pitch it late. That was a really good job of pitching late, and a great downfield block by Pierce Jamison. And Canyon McCabe's going to reverse field. And if he'll just wait for Houston, or
he's waiting on a few guys, setting up blocks, making a good run.
And that is a huge block by Logan Thomas. They're going to call him for a hold, but that was a really good block. That was just a pancake block by Logan Thomas.
Yeah, fantastic run. Again, we wish I had the chance to be able to see that. Their coaches are walking out there, and they're getting onto the official for it, but they got a call to bring the ball back.
Right, it's going to be a hold on Logan Thomas right there. And the ball is going to come back probably to about the 35.
Yeah, so 3 timeouts left. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Guy takes a timeout with 30 seconds, maybe get everybody back into a huddle.
Yes, sir. Holding is the call.
So, but great run by Canyon McCabe. Gets called back at the end, but he had about 40 yards regardless of that and was able to take it all the way in the extra 20. So 1st and 10 on the Oasis Crop Insurance first down from the 31-yard line. 30 seconds left. You know, even for Wall, you're up. I'd love for them to see to work kind of a little 2-minute, 30 with not much time left. But even Pierce a chance to get a field goal if you can't get a touchdown. You got them open.
They're throwing out here to Dane on just a wheel route. And
it was there. Dane just needed to drift a little back closer to the ball.
Right, touched his hands and You always say if it touches your hands, you got to bring it in.
Yeah, that'll be one I wish I'm sure he's going to want to watch on film too. He was open in space. When the ball's in the air that long, you got a lot of thoughts going through your head. But just start drifting back to it a little bit more. But yes, we'd always love the ball be there right where it needs to. But if people haven't played quarterback at home, that's a pretty tough thing to do to get it there every time.
They're going to just drop back pass, and he's going to send it again. This time it's going to be Luke Kemp. He's going to miss it.
Yeah, he tried to come back and get that one and got a little touch there at the end. You could have called a flag on, I thought. But set up a 3rd and 10 with 17 seconds to go. And Grape Creek did a great job by getting pressure up the middle.
So with 17 seconds and 3rd and 10, you would kind of expect wing-back counter maybe.
Yep.
Or another drop back or sprint out pass here.
They've been so successful with the run, I wouldn't be surprised if they, even from the yard line here, because I think in their minds they could probably at least get 5 to 7 yards.
Right.
Get a timeout if you don't get to it. But we're going to throw it.
That's going to be just over the head of
Canyon McCabe there.
Canyon McCabe, the slot, who was just running the delayed seam down the middle of the field.
Yeah, and he was wide open, just threw it over his head a little bit. So 4th down.
And now we've got 12 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and Coach Guy's going to take a timeout here. So 12 seconds left to go. And Wall will have 2 timeouts after this. But we've had an open receiver, just didn't quite make the connection in the end zone. We had an open delay there by Canyon McCabe, just to get the connection on that. And that's one thing we've talked about so far this season. Hawks have definitely shown they can run the ball and run their veer option. That passing game is the one area they keep trying to work on, because at some point they're going to match up somebody, in district or in playoffs, it's going to be able to match them up and help stop that offense.
Well, they're going to have to. I mean, there's no way around it. You've got to have a passing game when you start getting into some of your mid-rounds of the playoffs, for sure, if not district.
So again, the score is 34-0, 12 seconds to go in the second half. Hawks just took their timeout. They have 2 more to go, but this is 4th and 10 for Wall. And so looking open to look for something for a first down. If they don't score, looking for a fast timeout here by Coach Guy and the offense. But Hawks so far played a fantastic first half. Make sure y'all join us as well for the Pixelcast halftime show. Again, what we always try to do is talk a little bit about the game's first half, some other scores. Then we'll step off and let the fans just kind of watch the Wall Hawk band. And we'll jump back in here. But 4th and 10 here. Eagles sending some pressure.
Just a drop back pass again. Bills is going to escape, and he's just going to tuck it. They're going to get another holding on this, but he is going to stay in bounds to the 12.
And there's 2 seconds left on that, but yeah, the flag is going to bring it back.
That's a really smart decision. 1, evading a sack, and 2, once he got out here, knew that he had nothing but grass, so he took off. But they're going to get Wall for a hold right here. And that's going to put the ball back around the 42, 43-yard line from where that flag's sitting on the ground.
Yeah, I'm curious if the Hawks will either try to just take the knee here and get into halftime, or they might try to take a shot play, almost a Hail Mary to see if they can get one more score here before half. And again, the score is 34-0, but Wall is still working on things they got to work on here as the district goes on. And so it looks like they're going to take a shot play. Let's see how this lines up.
So doubles gun. He's going to send it down the middle of the field, just out of the reach
Canyon
of
McCabe.
Canyon McCabe running a post.
So that is the end of the first half. Hawks are up 34-0. We're going to take a quick break, come back and do the Pixelcast halftime show. We'll talk about the first half to update some scores, then allow the Wall Hawk band to play.
Established in 1927, Schertz Landscape Company is as well rooted in the Texas soil as the nursery stock we grow and sell. Since the beginning, our knowledgeable landscape professionals have been here to keep your yard thriving, rain or shine. At Schertz, we believe in keeping our nursery stocked with quality products that flourish in the conditions we live in. We call the Concho Valley home, and you can trust us to have the answers for your project, big or small. When quality counts, you can depend on Schertz.
At VGI Technology, our mission is to connect and protect our communities using innovative technologies while providing an exceptional customer experience. Everyone on our team took part in creating this mission statement, and everyone on our team is committed to stand by every word. So for your home and office internet, security, cameras, and smart technology, call on your neighbors at locally owned VGI. VGI, to connect and protect. At VGI Technology, our mission is to connect and protect our communities using innovative technologies while providing an exceptional customer experience. Everyone on our team took part in creating this mission statement, and everyone on our team is committed to stand by every word. So for your home and office internet, security, cameras, and smart technology, call on your neighbors at locally owned VGI. VGI, to connect and protect.
First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa is a giant of a credit card. With great low rates, no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, and even a rewards option, First Community's Platinum Visa is the card for you. With security as a high priority, you can lock your card in case it's lost, stolen, or just to limit its use. So be smart, bank smart with First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa.
We want to welcome everyone back. This is the Pixelcast Media Halftime Show. I am Chad Curry, your play-by-play announcer, also here with Larry Holscher, the color commentary. We're just two old former football coaches enjoying some Friday night and being able to watch the Warhawks and cheer them on. I'm going to try to shut this if you're listening at home just because it gets pretty loud with the announcer. Hopefully that helps if you're watching at home, but we'll open it back up with the Wall-Hawk band plays. Right now the Hawks are up 34-0. Hawks came in tonight with a 4-1 record. Grape Creek came in tonight with an 0-5 record. But so far the first half, it's just been the Hawks 34-0. They played well. They played mistake-free. We haven't seen the turnovers we've seen in some previous weeks, but they're playing good football. Coach, what's kind of your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I mean, you kind of said it. I mean, anything Wall kind of wanted to work on tonight, they've been able to do it. You know, they look really crisp on offense. They haven't had any turnovers yet, which I know coming into this game was one of their big deals after the last couple games was to take care of the football. They've done that tonight. Defensively, they've flown to the ball, you know, and they've really held Grape Creek to very few rushing yards. Of course, Grape Creek did have that really long pass, and they were there. They just didn't make a play, and the Grape Creek receiver made a great catch and run afterwards. But, yeah, anything Walls kind of wanted to work on tonight, they've kind of had a look at. You know, the other thing that that's been a concern, or at least a concern of mine as I watch them throughout the year, is completions on passes and receivers making catches and quarterbacks getting it where it needs to go. And you know, they threw the ball 5 times, and they're 0 for 5 right now. So that, you know, second half you may see that worked a little bit in the third quarter, and then after that you'll probably see them just run and close out the game. Well, you know, I'm just guessing right now. You know, I'm like anybody else. My guess is as good as anybody's. You know, if you're over in Grape Creek's locker room, you're telling them the same thing that Wall's coaches are telling them. You know, and we've alluded to this a couple times tonight. Is that's just take care of your job. Yeah. You know, you don't have a chance to do what you're trying to do if you don't take care of your job. You know, whether that's blocking or whether that's running a route or catching a football or throwing a football or holding on to one.
And Grape Creek has shown some signs offensively, been able to make some positive yards and some good gains. But again, they've run into the Wall Hawks in their offense, and fortunately for Wall, they've been able to get any kind of run they want. You mentioned the 0-5 on passing. that's some drops there. That's some misplaced balls, but that is something that they'll continue to work on. We'll come back and talk a little bit before halftime just about what they're going to talk about in the locker room and things. But, I think for the Hawks, mostly tonight is they came out so far up 34-0 in a first district game. Want to make sure they finish this game by keep improving and getting better as we wait the Wallhawk band to come out. We're going to talk some scores here around the area. And then, again, we'll take a step back from here, allow y'all to watch the band, and we'll come back in and do some second-half thoughts as we kind of get going. But Coach and I both follow different teams, and so I'm going to mention some ones that I see. Again, Sonora is up 13-0 over the Ozona Lions in the second quarter. Cristobal's up 29-0 over Anthony, and it looks like just about halftime. Bangs is beating Goldthwaite 33-0. Brownwood is beating Big Spring 21-3. Toller is beating Coleman 13-0. Vernon is beating Clyde 21-13. Brady is up 28-0 over TLC at halftime. Winters is down by 15 to Anson in the second quarter. Early is up on Ballinger 17-0 in the second quarter. Holly's up 47-0 over Colorado City. Port Sands up 19-0 over Reagan County. I think I've said 0 quite a few times tonight, Coach.
Yes, sir. A lot of defenses playing tonight.
People are playing some good defense tonight. And then Albany's up 35-12, and there's a few more out there. But, Coach, who all do you see on your scores?
The big one that, if you're a Central follower, Midland Legacy right now is down 7-35 to Wolford Friendship, and that's kind of a surprising one for that 6A district with Central. I don't think a lot of people had Wolford being in that game, and they're winning at 35-7 right now.
Wow.
Another big one, Walls Old District. Vernon is up 21-13 over Clyde. Jim Ned is beating the Bowie Jackrabbits right now 14-12. Another Old District foe in Breckenridge, they're up 14-0 over Iowa Park. And one that Wall played earlier this year, Eastland, is down 33-6 to Jacksboro.
Well, a good night for at least across the West Texas. It's a beautiful night for football. The weather is great. I don't think there's much breeze, especially here in much of West Texas. But it's been a great night for football, and the Hawks, again, are playing well. Up 34-0 over Grape Creek. There's about 19 minutes left till halftime.
Here's you a couple more that, Wall played Peaster. Peaster is knotted up 6-6 with Whitesboro. And the other Central District, Odessa Permian, is up 17-0 over Odessa Broncos. I don't know if you've mentioned the Lakeview. I was kind of doing some math over here. But Lakeview is right now up 17-0 over Andrews, or I think down 17-0 on Andrews. Let me double check that one. That kind of surprised me when I saw it.
Well, again, a good night for some Friday night football. Right now, Grape Creek Band is playing. As the Wall Band comes on, we'll kind of step away and let them kind of finish out. Yep. But like I said, Coach, anything else you can think of on the first half?
No. To correct that score on the Lakeview is down 20-0 on Andrews, but a lot of you guys are probably jumping around on Concho Sports to make that happen. Something that just hit when I kept a few stats. Wall rushed 14 times for 212 yards in that first half, which is about 15 yards a carry. Now, as an offensive coordinator, you like that. As a defensive coordinator, you don't. So it'll be interesting to see what Grape Creek does to try to slow that down a little bit, and what adjustments Wall has for them.
Well, we'll take a step away from here. Again, this is the Pixelcast halftime show. We'll leave the screen on there that you guys can kind of watch the band as they play. Then we'll jump back in here with some second-half thoughts as we kind of approach here. But, again, your Wall Hawks are up 34-0 over Grape Creek Eagles.
The Streaming Eagle Band would like to say a big thank you to all administrators, staff, and the community of Grape Creek for their continued support. Thank you, good night, and go Eagles! Ladies and gentlemen, Wall High School proudly presents the award-winning Mighty Wallhawk Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Tristan Moon and Ethan Stewart. And now, with Wallhawk pride, the Mean Green Marching Machine. Thank you for your attention. Directors of the band are Dustin Moses and Joshua Carroll. Color guard sponsor is Amy Moses. The mantra of the week is Gracie Whetstone.
Did you know more 10th graders will get drunk this year than will go on to graduate from college? Alcohol kills 6.5 more teens than all other drugs combined. What a waste to get alive. Half of all traffic fatalities are alcohol related. What a waste of good people.
Cotton farming in the Concho Valley, that's risky business. Specializing in crop insurance and serving local family farmers for over 15 years, Oasis Crop Insurance understands those risks firsthand. That's why year in and year out, from the first seed you plant to the last boll you harvest, Oasis Crop Insurance is your risk management partner.
Oasis Crop Insurance, service from paradise.
Patriotic.
Innovative.
Dependable.
Family values.
Faith.
Trustworthy.
Ethical.
Community minded.
Loyalty.
Honesty.
Diverse.
Friendly. Committed.
Punctual. Customer service.
These are the values on which we built Bug Express.
Mom, we are honored to carry on your legacy.
Establishing.
All right, we want to welcome everyone back to the Wall Hawks versus Grape Creek Eagles. Again, presented by Concho Sports, on Concho Sports Network, presented by First Community Federal Credit Union. The band just finished, and we were talking up here, and you know, I got three young boys. We are 8, 7, and 4, Caden, Lane, and Grayson. And I didn't play in the band. I'm assuming one of my kids or multiple ones will probably be in the band, but they looked fantastic for Wall. I know that's a big deal for their parents as well. So great halftime show. As we come back, there's 2:15 left here at the Pixelcast halftime. Hawks are up 34-0. Coach Holscher, what do you think the Grape Creek talked about in their locker room? What do you think about Coach Guy talked about in the locker room for the Wall Hawks?
I think over in Grape Creek, you talk about having some pride in who you are and pride in a community. You know, whether you win this game or not, take pride in what you do, take pride in how you do it. For Wall, they're talking about finishing the job. You know, don't get complacent. If you got an assignment, do it full blast or don't do it at all, you know. So kind of the same thing, taking pride in what you do, and we kind of talked about that a couple times tonight. Just do your job, take pride, do it the best you can possibly do it, and let the chips fall where they fall.
You know, Coach, we mentioned this earlier too. It's a great life lesson, you know, again, because things don't always kind of go your way. And regardless of whatever happens, you just still got to get up and you have to go do your job. You have to keep getting better. That's one of the best things that kind of talk about, just sports and how it adapts to life for it. And remind fans, too, Grape Creek last year was a playoff team, a co-district champion. You know, and so starting the year off 0-5, you know they've had some injuries, but we know those kids are going to keep getting better. And as you mentioned, if they can see some things on film, you know, little by little, give them some inspiration, that's fantastic for them. For the Wall side, keep getting better. You know, it's the first district game. You get to finish out the rest of district before playoffs and stay injury-free. But we mentioned maybe the passing game, you know, maybe some things they wanted just to work on and polish up. And hopefully, if Wall does this right, you might be able to get maybe your 2s or 3s in the fourth quarter so they can get on film, so they can get some of that game time experience as well. But we got to get to that point first of all. As we start getting ready here for the Schertz Landscape kickoff, Wall should be returning. They kicked off the first half to start the game for it. Again, up 34-0. It's been a fantastic night for some football. The band just finished. Got a great crowd here in Wall America, and it's been exciting. And I want to mention, too, I had a parent reach out to me during halftime and let me know that her husband was the 6'4" quarterback we played against back in '99.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty cool. And so my wife always asks me, you know, who all's watching this game? I said, babe, there could be one person because of you, but there could be 100 out there. I don't know. So it's kind of neat to hear other people, share with us that they're watching the game as well.
Oh, absolutely. I had a coach that I coached with at Central who's now retired, Coach Hauser. He's watching the game tonight as well as jumping from some other ones. So wherever you're at, hopefully you've had a good meal from San Angelo to go, and we're ready for the second half.
That's fantastic. I had a client I met with this week. She said she was watching the game last week, and she's like, I think that's Chad Curry. But I never said her name till halftime. She's like, oh, that's my financial advisor. So, again, we start the second half here again. Thank you all for joining us for the Wall Hawks versus Grape Creek Eagles. Pooch kick by Grape Creek, and it's going to check up on about the 33-yard line, setting up an Oasis Crop Insurance first down.
And that's going to be Trey Hoffman jumping on that ball, understanding that that's a live kick right there. So very heads up on his part.
You know, we mentioned that last week with Barbie, the freshman, about it being just some football IQ and knowing those situations.
Yes, sir.
I told my story that we had an offensive lineman that we called a screen on a Friday night, and the next day in film he had no idea what that was. And, of course, we worked it all during the week. But my first comment was, son, go turn on your Xbox, go play your college football, and he runs screen 15 times. And so we'll get that done.
This is Nathan Pepper once again, just a dive, and he's just going to run over some folks and get the ball all the way down to about the 17-yard line.
And he didn't go down. He ended up getting knocked out of bounds to it. But great run, especially starting off the second half there for the Wall.
That's a statement run right there.
That is. And that's come out. Let's finish this job. Let's make sure we're doing it well. First down there for Oasis Crop Insurance. First down for the Hawks. Great run for Nathan Pepper. We've seen that tonight with him. Physical, speed, power. We've seen that by the offensive line for the Hawks, create some big gaps. And those power plays or explosive plays. And right back to Nathan Pepper again, and he got tackled just at the 1-yard line, it looks.
But that's going to create a Schertz Landscape red zone as well as Oasis Crop Insurance first down, correct?
That's correct.
But, yeah, that's just another powerful run.
We've seen those explosive plays. We mentioned about 15 yards of carry. The first half for the Hawks, starting off the second half the exact same way.
The handoff was a little higher than I bet they would like. That one's not. That one's right where it needed to be, and he's just going to shove that thing right into the end zone for another Wall Hawk touchdown.
Fantastic run there again. All three runs by Nathan Pepper. Sometimes you see that kids will make that run all the way down there, then somebody else might come in and get the touchdown, and Coach Guy said, no, we'll let the young man finish this one off for us.
Absolutely.
So Hawks up quickly in the second half, 40-0, with 10:50 left in the third quarter. Pierce Jameson lining up for the extra point.
So that took a little over a minute and 10 seconds for them to score, and the PAT's good.
So great start by the Hawks. Grape Creek, I know we'll try to talk to their staff over there, their kids, and hey, stay focused, keep working on it. Like I said, we'll keep going here. But 41-0 for Wall. We are up and playing well. And said for the most part of the night, it's been a pretty good ball game for Hawks, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And so we'll see the defense come out here after the Shirts Landscape kickoff and see if they can keep working on what they put on the first half work. Like I said, as we start here too, hey fans, there's a brand new post-game celebration snack spot. Head to the College Hills Bodega after the game for all your post-game snacks. Guys, that's across from Next Level. They've got Dippin' Dots, candy, drinks, and anything else you can think of. Go see the Bodega Boys at the corner of College Hills and Millbrook for your post-game snack fix, and tell them Concho Sports Network crew sent you. I know my boys love snacks, and so that was a great place to stop to kind of get some things. That's probably why our dentist bills are so high right now.
I'm about to say, if it's sweet, mine loves them.
Our dentist, Dr. Leroy, the other day said, do you want to get all this stuff done this year? You want to break it up? So I want to break it up. It helps out the pocketbook a little bit, but I'm trying to get you a brush and floss and everything else you need to, but they do like their snacks. Yeah, he fair caught that one, number 33. Yeah, you can't advance that, bud, once you do.
Fair catch is called by number 30.
So that's just a mistake there for it. He's setting up a run. Might have had a few things. That's probably the first.
That should bring it out because that's kind of one of their safety things. You fair catch it within the 10.
Should be at the 25-yard line. They've changed that rule since I coached. So every time I have to double check it.
Line.
Okay. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the 25-yard line. Again, on the TV, going left to right is Grape Creek in the white tops and black pants, and then Wall Hawks are in the green top and white pants. But if you look at the flagpoles, y'all can't see right now, hardly any breeze tonight. Last week we had an east to west breeze, which is a little bit odd. You don't see that very much. Oh.
That's a pass to 88, I do believe, for Grape Creek.
Yeah, he got his hands on it, but some good coverage there. Looks like Nathan Pepper able to help break that up. And so we have not seen Grape Creek throw too much, but they've had a little bit of success on it. We saw some plays earlier, probably their biggest play of the night. They've been able to sneak behind some Hawk defenders.
Yes, sir. This is going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. They're going to stay in that double tight wing sniffer look. And just run the QOZ, and that's Matthew Steen, I do believe, that just steps right inside and stops him right there, and then a host of other Hawks come and help him bring him down.
He did a great job of setting that edge, and forcing the quarterback back in for Grape Creek. And we mentioned it the first half, but you're seeing just a whole effort of defensively of guys getting to the ball, and both sides of the ball, but defensively, you notice just because of tackles and making plays. But 10-10 left to go in the third quarter, setting up a 3rd and 10. Again, Hawks have played pretty tight to the line. Grape Creek in their same formation.
It's going to be an OZ back the other way this time, and that's going to be a gain of about 2.
So play we've seen there earlier as well, too. The safeties for the Hawks just coming down and just filling that hole.
Yeah,
and you're almost seeing that pop or that push back for it.
The corner is doing a really good job of setting the edge, and then the safeties are doing what they're supposed to do. Their alignment is their fit. They're just coming straight down and taking their shot.
Luke Kemp on the return, sitting on the 50-yard line.
And that came really close to hitting a Wall Hawk player, number 20 Snowden.
Yep.
But it took a good bounce for Wall and just missed his leg.
So it looks about a 25-yard punt, but I don't know where we're marking this at. I'm thinking that it might actually hit the Grape Creek player because I think they're moving this back.
Sure enough.
Yeah, they said it hit the Grape Creek player earlier, and so fans, you're watching at home, if they touch it at any point, even though the ball keeps rolling, that's where the ball's going to be downed at. So the Hawks gained about 7 yards on that call, and it turned into be about a 15-yard punt. So Hawks set up an Oasis Crop Insurance first down from the Eagle 44-yard line, 1st and 10.
And that's going to be a timeout by Grape Creek, I do believe.
Yeah, I don't know if they had 11 on the field. I didn't think I saw a defensive end on their sideline. but something got them to call the timeout. And so 9-13, we'll take a quick timeout too, and then we'll come back here. 9-13, Hawks are up 41-0 in the third quarter.
1927, Schertz Landscape Company is as well rooted in the Texas soil as the nursery stock we grow and sell. Since the beginning, our knowledgeable landscape professionals have been here to keep your yard thriving, rain or shine. At Schertz, we believe in keeping our nursery stocked with quality products that flourish in the conditions we live in. We call the Concho Valley home, and you can trust us to have the answers for your project, big or small. When quality counts, you can depend on Schertz.
Again, you're joining us here on the Concho Sports Network, presented by First Community Federal Credit Union. It is 9:13 to go in the third quarter. Wall is up 41-0 over the Grape Creek Eagles. Next week we have a home game as Ballinger travels here to Wall America. So the Hawks will play the Bearcats. Bearcats have started off, I believe, 0-5 this year as well. But I know they're looking to get that turned around. Have some family that's coaching over there. And so I know they got a lot of pride and want to get that program going.
That's Gunnar Dillard. He's just going to pull the snap and go around the edge for about 9 yards here.
Yep, set up a 2nd and 1. It's a good run there for Dillard. You know, Coach, when you're up in games like this, what's kind of your thoughts and mentality of how long do you leave starters in? You know, when do you want to look at some other kids? You know, what's kind of your thought on that?
Me, I tried, you know, my thought was always, I'm going to play the majority of my starters to the third. Now, I may put 2 guys in, but I'll never, like, for example, I'd never change out both starters. Like receivers, if I had 2 of them, I may switch out 1 and alternate them, but I always wanted a starter in at every position during the third. And then the fourth, depending on what the score was, during the fourth was when I would make bigger wholesale changes.
That was a run there by Garrett Guy, setting up a Schertz Landscape red zone here, 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line.
That's a little slant out to
I believe Luke Kemp. Yep.
Yes, sir. Luke Kemp, and that's going to be incomplete.
I thought we held on to that one, but yeah, I guess so. I was about to be excited for our first completion we've seen.
Yeah, it was pretty low.
Yeah.
He went down to get it, and I guess it might have touched the turf.
And parents, too, and fans are watching at home. And so when you're in district play as well, there's always a points that you just need to be aware of, so in case there's a tie situation between the teams. And so sometimes you'll see teams here in the third or fourth quarter maybe try to get an extra touchdown if they needed to, just to make sure that point differential. And so if that comes into play, something else to remind people.
Toss to Pepper, and Pepper's going to score for another Hawk touchdown.
A physical score again. Great run there by Nathan Pepper, but great blocking setup too by the offensive line and other skilled players.
You know, and you're talking about the points, and each district is different. Some of them will put a cap on it at 21, some of them at 17, some of them they'll take the full score. So that way, if you end up getting a tie, either a 2-way tie or a 3-way tie, usually a 3-way tie, it goes back to points as far as who's going to make the playoffs.
So as Pierce Jameson attempts the extra point here.
But that's a good job bringing up the points. That's going to be wide to the right.
Yeah, the bobbled snap there on that one. It didn't get up till late, and Pierce pushed it to the right. Yeah, but most fans don't quite know that, and it's something to be aware of. You know, some of the coaches aren't trying to necessarily run up a score if they're in that situation. Right. They're just trying to make sure that they do the best thing they can to make sure their team makes the playoffs. This will kind of segue to what I was going to talk about here in a little bit. But last year, Baylor playing Oklahoma, Baylor with about 15 seconds left ended up kicking a field goal. They didn't need to, and so a lot of Oklahoma fans were upset, things like that. But when it was explained later through the media that even in the Big 12 there's a point system,
yes, sir,
that it's kind of had to get that qualified. And so speaking of that, the big college game day tomorrow, Texas versus Oklahoma, 11 a.m. kickoff. Coach, I don't even know, are you a college fan? Is there a team
I love it. Oh, absolutely. There's a couple of them I root for. I'm a big Notre Dame fan, and I'm a huge Texas fan. Both of them, probably because they have a lot of tradition in their programs. I just respect tradition. You know, I may not be a fan of Texas A&M, but I respect their tradition. That's what I love about college football and rivalries. You know, the Red River Showdown, that's a big rivalry. So And that was a humongous hit by Ryan Allen right there along the sideline.
Yeah, fantastic hit on that. Yeah, I saw that, but Notre Dame's got BYU, and so that'll be a good game tomorrow. And just two good programs, independent programs.
And that's in Vegas.
Really?
That's the Shamrock Series, yes, sir.
There you go. The Catholics and the Mormons battling out in Sin City.
Right.
There you go.
Put that one together, right?
So.
You know, and what's crazy, BYU's ranked 16. Notre Dame is unranked, which is kind of unusual for them. But Notre Dame is 3.5-point favorites. So how that works, I'm not sure, other than they have a bigger fan base.
Well, then you got Texas OU at 11 a.m. tomorrow. It's always such a big game. I mean, you love seeing the crowd when it's that orange and that red and all that.
The only other game I miss seeing more than the Red River Showdown is A&M versus Texas.
Yeah.
I would love for that one to come back. And it may when they jump into the SEC, which I know that's a tender subject to a lot of people too. But,
you know, about a 4-yard run there for Grape Creek, set up a 2nd and 6. Now, so my wife and I got to travel to Utah. We went and watched Baylor play BYU, and that was neat seeing those fans and their traditions.
Yes, sir.
And we were at the Baylor-Oklahoma State game. Baylor was down 20 in the second half, came back within 8, and we thought we might pull it back off. But it's fun. It's just this great time of year. We get to do this on a Friday night. Some physical Hawks there, all tackling.
Yeah, that was a unique play right there because you had 2 sniffers, and they were using one to kick out. Another way to run counter, but they were using the other back to be the roll guy. Unique play design right there, and it's going to gain them, what, about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, so 3rd and 3 with 6:27 left to go in the third.
You know, that's a place I have not been, is Utah, but I hear it's absolutely beautiful over there.
It's the first time we went, and we got to stay in Park City, which the best way I can describe it, it's Fredericksburg, but up in the mountains.
I got you.
And so it was a really neat place to stay, and we were able to go with some friends, and so that was a great little experience.
So here's the same type of play, and Wall, their defensive tackle says, no, sir.
Yeah, 51 there for the Hawks. Yeah, Carter Aldridge with a great tackle and hit, shed off the block off the start.
Yes, sir. That's twice you've mentioned him making a really big tackle tonight. You're starting to see a few players playing. Back here in the secondary, you've got Briggs Jones at safety, and it looks like Luke Holscher back there to Grape Creek side.
So 4th and 4 here. Grape Creek's going to punt. Wall does not have anybody back. Probably their best punt of the night. And got a great roll for Grape Creek.
No.
Ball is going to be down to the 19-yard line with 5:18 to go in the third quarter. And so great defensive stop there for the Hawks again. Playing great football. Like I said, we've seen from the very beginning to the end, it's been pretty sharp. So the clock is running now, and so it's 5:01, so they're not going to stop it. And so if you're at home, you start hearing us say it's getting pretty fast. That's usually something that's talked about between coaches. And right now you're starting to see some different Hawk players come in as well. And I'm one of those that only happens in 6-man football, the 45-point rule.
Right.
I might be crazy, but I think that should be at every level. And I would even put it in basketball, too, because when we're up this much, like you're going to get somebody hurt, or something's not going to go right. You're going to hurt somebody's, I don't want to say feelings because we're past all that. But, but you get some great chance. There's some other kids kind of get on the field, too. But when you're up this big, besides the opportunity for some other kids, it can kind of I always thought things didn't really necessarily always end in the right direction sometimes.
Right.
Tackled by number 8, Connor Poole.
But now we're seeing some new names here for the Hawks running the ball. And clock is running. Hawks are up 47-0. 4:20 left in the third quarter. Let's see who our quarterback is right now.
I do believe it's Bills.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So toss out here to number 9 for the Hawks.
Briggs Jones, and he's got the sideline.
Yeah, number 8.
And he's going to get all the way down to the Hawk 40 right there.
Great run there by Briggs Jones. I mentioned to you this at halftime. I think it's a great story we can share. When I was coaching at Miles my first year, we were playing Ants and Tigers, and they were pretty good. And they were beating us some score like this in the fourth quarter. And the official walks over and asks me if I wanted to run the clock. And I said, no, but can you ask him to get his starters out? He had all his starters in the fourth quarter still. I'm like, come on, man, give us a little bit of help.
Yeah, I would have started mixing after the first series of the third. I'd always give the starters the first series of the third.
23
That's going to
here.
be Barbie.
Yeah, Hagen Barbie, the freshman we mentioned a lot last week with the run. But it's exciting now. Like I said, you got some fans and some parents here. They're getting to see some of their kids in that might not play all the time.
You know, and what's funny, you don't see a whole lot of drop-off here.
No, you don't. Yeah, you're right. That so far it's been executed well down the field. And that's a great part of it, just being a program.
Right.
And again, these kids, a lot of them are the ones who will be stepping in the future if they need it, or going to step in during injuries if something goes on later in the year. So great experience for them. Great blocks there on the edge.
That's going to be Garrett Guy getting around the corner.
Down to I think they're marking about 7-yard lines. We're in the Shirts landscape red zone here.
And that was just a block out there by number 11, Luke Holscher, to get him the edge. Didn't have to be a massive one.
2:41 to go in the third quarter.
Now you got Snowden coming in at receiver.
And Garrett Guy on the carry again.
Dive to Guy. It's going to get all the way down to looks like the 4.
Grape Creek holds him up there and able to get the tackle. And so down to the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Number 25, Garrett Guy on the carry. This time he'll be brought down by number 4.
Again, if you're at home and need to get out for a snack, don't forget about College Hills Bodega. If you don't want to go anywhere, order some Angelo to go. Again, it's been a wonderful night for football and great weather all the way around. Hawks trying to get another score here with the young kids. There's the Barbie, number 23, in for a touchdown.
For a touchdown. That's going to be a Wall Hawk score with 1:41 left on the clock.
Exciting there for the freshman to get a touchdown on a Friday night game. I'm assuming that's his first of his high school career, so that's a big deal. So congrats to the young man. Now the clock has stopped. Looks here for extra points after the score. So 1:40 left to go in the third quarter.
So we got a different holder. It looks like Gunnar Dillard's going to come in and hold this for Pierce instead of Kenyon McCabe. I like that move. Start working a little bit different holder.
Yep. So kick is good. Hawks are up 54-0. We'll take a quick break with 1:40 left to go in the third quarter.
At VGI Technology, our mission is to connect and protect our communities using innovative technologies while providing an exceptional customer experience. Everyone on our team took part in creating this mission statement, and everyone on our team is committed to stand by every word. So for your home and office internet, security, cameras, and smart technology, call on your neighbors at locally owned VGI. VGI, to connect and protect.
Hey, welcome back. We are about to have the Church Landscape kickoff. 1:40 left in the third quarter. They've been running the clock, so I'm assuming as we get this kickoff going, we'll probably work that clock all the way down to the end of the third quarter. Hawks have played well. You've seen some younger guys get in the mix right now. Hayden Barbie there for the touchdown. Garrett Guy had a big run on that play as well. And also Briggs Jones, a sophomore, on that drive. And so again, 1:40 left to go. We mentioned here earlier, in between the timeout, the Angelo State Rams play tomorrow night at 6. They're having a heck of a season.
Yeah, they're number 3 ranked nationally. That's a game I'm going to be out at because I hadn't got to see them this year, and I'm a ASU alum, so it's going to be kind of good to go out and, you know, I love that the stadium's now on campus.
Yep.
So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I hadn't seen them in a couple years, so.
Yeah, we're making the trip. Our church has got some group tickets, and so we're bringing our 3 boys, and we're going to go watch it. I know they have Ram Jam going on earlier.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make a Ram Jam. We might even walk the campus a little bit.
There you go. That's somebody telling me today. He said, I've never made it to a football game, but I made it to Ram Jam. I said, well, hope we make the game this weekend.
It's probably a good thing they didn't have Ram Jam back when I was going to college.
Good solid run right there for Grape Creek for about 3 or 4 yards.
Yes, sir.
35, Brady Stone on the tackle.
Number 4, Angel Perez on the carry. He'll be grabbed by number
Yeah, a few different defenders we're seeing here.
35, Brady Stone.
Yeah, your secondary looks like we got Snowden. Pierce Jamison's now in at safety. It looks like Holscher, and over at the right corner is Trey Hoffman. Got a couple different linebackers too. Looks like Ryan Andrews, and that's a really good job by Pierce Jamison finding a hole and kind of cleaning that tackle up. But it was Snowden and Chandler Wilde right there, the first guys up on that tackle.
Yeah, it looks, probably heard there on the media part to it. I think the student section was chanting out Brady, so I'm assuming Brady Stone for the Hawks. So that's neat. But yeah,
got a lot of new names. You know, a couple of those we've called tonight already, like Hunter Gilchrist. That's a bad snap, and he's going to jump on it around the 13-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be a third and a long ways. Are we fourth down now on this one? I look at that. I think fourth down now in 21. 3 seconds to go to the end of the quarter here. We'll let it probably go to quarter. We'll step out for a commercial break and come back and start the fourth.
The Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa is a giant of a credit card. With great low rates, no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, and even a rewards option, First Community's Platinum Visa is the card for you. With security as a high priority, you can lock your card in case it's lost, stolen, or just to limit its use. So be smart, bank smart with First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa.
Cotton farming in the Concho Valley, that's risky business. Specializing in crop insurance and serving local family farmers for over 15 years, Oasis Crop Insurance understands those risks firsthand. That's why year in and year out, from the first seed you plant to the last bull.
Like I said, start of the fourth quarter here. Hawks are up 54-0. Once the play starts, they are running the clock, and so it will not stop for penalties or incomplete passes. It is stopping for touchdowns. But right now, Grape Creek is setting up in a punt formation with Luke Kemp. He's had some good returns so far. We'll see if we can get another one here. That's a good punt.
And he's going to field that punt about the 41-yard line of the Hawks.
Yeah, makes it about a 33, 34-yard punt. And so, you know, we've had some 15-yard punts, but the one before had a great roll for them. That was a great, nice high punt. And so, we've seen some improvement in that as the game's gone on. And so first and 10 from the Hawks from the Eagles' 41-yard line. This sets up an Oasis Crop Insurance first down. Like I said, Hawks able to mix in some other players right now, getting some good experience, getting themselves on film. Luke Kemp on the run.
And he's going to score right there. He just got the edge, and it's a 41-yard touchdown for Luke Kemp.
Yeah, great run there by Luke. Got on the edge, broke a tackle, and showed his wheels on the sidelines. A 41-yard run. The explosive plays continue tonight for the Wall Hawks. And so 11:30, and it's 60-0 right now. Again, they're stopping the clock for touchdowns and extra points. Like I said, fans at home, you know, you're probably watching the score and things like that. It's the coaches right now with their backups in, they're just kind of running simple plays, and you know, they're able to have success off of that, and now it's 61-0.
It's good.
And so, but Grape Creek, you can tell they're young, and I'm assuming, I don't know how many kids they lost from last season, but the success they had last year to this year. Usually you graduate a pretty big class. They've had 4 or 5 injuries that we can just tell looking at the sideline. Those things add up, and it can kind of make it for a long game right now, and even a long season. But, you know, with TLCA, and we mentioned earlier Ballinger, some other teams that have maybe been struggling as well, their season's not over by any means. It's just they're down 61-0 to the Wall Hawks, and after this, they're going to have to regroup and get themselves ready for their next opponent, because they can get, you know, a couple wins here and there in district. They can put themselves back in the playoffs, even though they started off with a tough start to the year.
Absolutely. I mean, like I mentioned at the beginning, the first game of district's important, you know, but it's not going to make or break your season. because they're still very much in the playoff hunt after tonight.
Yeah, and depending on how they match up to out of that, so the fans were talking about that. So right now after the night, Wall's going to walk out of here up 1-0 in district. Grape Creek's going to be down 0-1. But if they get a couple of the wins, it can put them in a third-place situation, or it's possibly second, depending on how they do. Allows them to match up with somebody in the playoff. That you said you never know. We have seen 4 seeds take out 1 seed, 3 seeds take out 2 seeds. And so they're all some things they're going to go look at and work on. Hopefully they get healthier as the season goes on. Like I said, next week, Wall will play the Ballinger Bearcats here in Wall America. And the following will be TLCA.
He'll be grabbed first by number 18, Chandler Wildy.
And right now you've got 3. That was a good tackle by Chandler Wildy. But right now you got 3 teams after tonight that will, barring any wild endings, starting off 1-0 out of this district with Wall, Early, and Brady. So those other 3, and you still got all those games to go. Now, yeah, Wall, Brady, and Early are kind of the picked favorites to be the top 3, but that 4th spot, and it could end up being the 2, 3, 4 spot.
Yep.
I don't know. You never know about high school football. But what we're getting at is one game ain't going to make or break their district.
No, not at all. So they get a chance to kind of rebound and get themselves going for the rest of the of their district matches. But this has been a great game for Wall. Again, they've had a very challenging non-district. We've seen some of the mistakes, the turnovers, fumbles, things like that. We haven't seen the turnovers and the bobbled snaps tonight at all, which has been an improvement.
Right.
A couple things we could say, and I'm sure the coaches would too. A couple areas, the passing game, that the throws have been there, or sometimes they haven't. But there's been some opportunities in the passing game they could have helped work on that to get a little bit better for it. But they're setting themselves up with a good win, and looks like staying healthy so far.
Absolutely.
To get themselves matched up for the next few games coming up.
And getting some guys some playing time, which you never know when you're going to need that guy to make some stuff happen.
Tackle there for the Hawks. I was trying to see a number on that. Looks like 23.
That would be Barbie.
Yep, Barbie there again on another tackle for it. So 2nd and 9 for Grape Creek. I'm going to talk some scores here in the area as we're walking through the game. Central's up 21-18 in the 4th quarter. Ozona is down 19-0 to Sonora. It still says halftime. Cristobal's up 37-0 over Anthony. TLCA is losing to Brady 49-0. Early is beating Ballinger 30-0. Hawley is beating Colorado City 61-0. Albany's up over the Miles Bulldogs 42-12. Another run here for Grape Creek. Again,
it's going to be a draw. No, he's going to make about a half a yard on that one.
Yeah, Brady Stone on the tackle. El Dorado's beating Wink 50-14. Menard's beating Robert Lee 42-8. And it looks like Oglesby is up over Bront 66-20. So my wife is from East Texas. She's a Lufkin Panther. So I follow them. They're tied 7-7 with North Mesquite.
Couple in that Central District, if you're a Central fan, kind of jumping between games right now. Wolfforth Friendship is up 42-21 on Midland Legacy. And Permian is up 24-0 over Odessa. The true Bronchos. That's going to be a tackle by number 34, Grayson Tanner, and Luke Holscher comes over and kind of helps pop him out of bounds.
There you go. You love seeing it, too. You got all 11 Hawks just working down the sideline here, too.
Their fits were really nice to look at.
The pursuit from the backside, and so just that good disciplined defense that we mentioned earlier. Ken McCabe is back on the punt return now. And, again, we talked about him anytime the ball's in his hands.
Who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, so
he sees a crease, and he just jumps in it. Going to be a directional to the right. He's going to let it go, and they're going to down it at
37-yard line. Kind of thought he might come over and pick that one up.
I did too.
And so, again, the clock is running, so they're not stopping it right now. It's 8:30 left in the fourth quarter. And so only for touchdowns it looks like they are. And so, again, the Hawks have, the majority of their second string, third string in there, and some younger kids, which are getting some great reps. And, the good thing is, too, and the rest of the team as well, is probably helping and coaching where they can. And that's always a fun part, especially in games like this. They can kind of have that good team effort to make sure everybody's doing their job. Garrett guy on the run.
Yeah, it's going to be good for about 3 yards.
Ball is carried by number 25.
Set up a 2nd and 7.
He'll be brought down by number 78, Bryce Scotty.
I did see College Game Days in Kansas tomorrow in Lawrence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 5-0 Kansas.
There you go.
So they got College Game Day showing up. That's
good times in Lawrence.
Oh, yeah. Back-to-back sellouts. It's funny how winning can cure a lot of things.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so they're doing it right now.
It's just going to be a dive, dead ahead.
Great tough run.
I do believe that was Garrett Guy on that run right there. That's going to be good for about 9-10 yards.
Yeah, another Oasis Crop Insurance first down. Number 4.
No, that was Nathan.
Matt
Steen. Don't normally see him playing that fullback position.
Might be stepping in some roles here. I do remember my senior year, my coach, that was something we were up pretty big at one game, and I played receiver, and coach said, "You want to play quarterback?"
It's going to be a pitch out to
Luke Kemp.
He's
looking to go on the sideline again.
To the house here.
Sophomore Luke Kemp with another touchdown. He's got that speed. You can tell he kind of fits through the defense there in a big run. It's going to be about a 56-yard run is what it looks like.
Yes, sir.
And so Hawks are up 67-0. Yeah, I remember Coach Coach said, "Do you want to play quarterback?" It took me a while to realize what he just asked me to do because I never did that. Coach, you want to do what? And so I got to get my one snap recorded for it.
All right.
And so 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They've been running the clock, but it stops here in between scores.
That looks like it is good, but for a minute I thought it might have been wide left, but it snuck inside the uprights.
68-0. We did have a little wind pickup. You see the flag now blowing west to east.
West to east, yes, sir.
And so maybe a good little cold front coming in, especially those bow hunters are going out tomorrow. Or I think youth hunters as well. I don't know. I can't go hunting right now if I'm wearing a T-shirt. I just don't feel right. I don't even want to get my bow out. I don't want to go do that. It needs to be a little bit colder. But the Hawks are up 68-0 with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Again, I want to thank all of our sponsors: First Community Federal Credit Union, Shirts Landscape, Oasis Crop Insurance, Texas Bank, for what they've done, Pixelcast Media for the production and everything, Angelo to go, and College Hills Bodega. Like I said, and as we got here 7 minutes, we've seen some different faces, but some good things. Now we've seen Garrett Guy with some good tough runs, sophomore. We've seen Luke Kemp with some good runs, and Kenny McCabe, and so some young kids out here making some plays. And on the defensive side as well. Yep. And you always want to see that, especially for the future of the program.
Well, what you like to see is these guys that are getting in. There's not just a huge drop off as far as blocking and getting downfield and making things happen.
So you'll probably see some more of those faces and some more opportunities. It's a good thing too, because like these kids get to hear. The majority of kids on a Friday night, they hear from the coaches and all that stuff, making calls. But now these kids are getting a chance to see those signals themselves, get some extra coaching too on the sideline, and then in film tomorrow, they're getting their positions coached up, and so that makes it exciting. A 3 or 4 yard run there for Grape Creek. Got a little bit of an edge.
Yes, sir. Going to be good for, looks like 4 yards, bring up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, number 5, Trey Hoppins coming in is 34. Grayson Tanner switching in and out.
Right. They're kind of bumping Snowden and Tanner and Hoffman right now out on the corner. Looks like Stone is at linebacker, and Garrett Guy's getting a little linebacker work tonight, as well as Andrews.
So 6:10 left to go in the fourth quarter. Little misdirection play again with the sniffer.
Yes, sir. Just a direct snap to him, and he's out that big gap opposite.
Yeah, I think it ends up picking up the first down for the Eagles.
He'll be tackled by number 20, Mason Snowden.
We got the Cowboys still winning some ball games. Cooper Rush is keeping them in it.
He's definitely creating a conversation for sure.
You know, playing the Rams, and the Rams have not looked that good this year. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys could pull one off. But I always listen to the Ticket out of Dallas, the sports radio station, every day. I've always have.
Yes, sir.
And they're all predicting maybe the Magic's finally over this week. But
I don't know. They're kind of scary to me. That offense is scary because it's so much misdirection, and that is Ryan Snowden making a really great tackle over there on the quarterback. But yeah, that offense is pretty worrisome. There's so much misdirection, and there's a RPO off of everything. But you know, the Cowboys' defense is looking really, really good.
They are. Goodness, they are. And so that'll be a good Sunday matchup. Oh, there's that little pop pass we mentioned earlier. I think 88 made the catch. Yep.
He did.
Yeah,
they're going to be a 1st and 10.
You know, that's some of the things I thought we might see earlier on, you know, setting up the run so much. But, you know, the Hawks bit down on that. 88 found himself open.
Right.
And so a first down, about 12-yard catch.
And he had some guys around him. He made another really good catch right there.
So 4:12 left to go. Again, the clock's just winding down. They're not stopping it for anything besides the scores.
Now, I was kind of wondering if they would try to throw it or just keep it on the ground to kill the clock at this point.
Direct snap.
That's going to be Trey Hoffman bringing him down after about a 4-yard gain.
Holding on to the jersey, bringing him down. So you see coaches out there coaching up the kids
Number 5, Trey Hoffman.
and their opportunities. So 2nd and about 5 is what it looks like. 3:24 and counting. And so if the Hawks can hold on, and they do get the shutout, and we mentioned how hard that is. But again, the defense has played fantastic tonight. The offense has played fantastic. There's the pop pass again.
And that's going to be picked, looks like, by Ryan Snowden.
Yeah, great interception there by number 20.
Ryan Snowden.
Yep. Mason Snowden's what
Mason Snowden. Yeah. Ryan Snowden's the principal.
There you go. So 1st and 10 for the Hawks, 2:47, and the clock's not stopping.
I knew there was something that didn't sound right in my mind about that one.
Well, the name below it, number 21 is Ryan Allen. I was like, well, maybe we're mixing those two together, but.
Yeah, no, his dad is the principal out here at Wall.
I got my master's in educational leadership to be a principal. Then I went the completely opposite route to that, going into investments. But that was a thought at one point. My mom was a principal. Family's been coaches for years.
You know, I can honestly say that was one thing that has never entered my radar.
Really? It's one of those things I did it when I was 29 before I had kids. Like, if I'm going to get this degree, I'm going to go ahead and get it now. And so,
right,
it's kind of neat to say, but.
That's another hard run for 4 yards right here to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Hawks.
Minute 50 left to go, and then again, the clock is just counting down. Number 4, Steen again on the run. Good tough hit there. Good Grape Creek tackle.
And he's going to be right at the sticks, and they're going to give him a first down with that.
So it should set up probably a victory formation, but then again, I'm not sure how many of these kids have worked that. So we'll see if Coach Guy keeps the ball moving or just decides to take a knee.
For another wall hop.
That's another handoff to Matthew Steen. Looks like he's going to drag him for about 5 yards there.
Yeah, it'll be neat to see kind of the total stats here tonight. I think they've put up some great numbers, lots of explosive plays offensively, and held Grape Creek down. I'd be shocked if, I don't think Grape Creek's had over 150 yards of offense, but maybe pretty close to it.
I bet Wall's sitting pretty close to 500 when it's all said and done.
Hawks are going to take a knee here to finish the game off. And so that'll count us down with 30 seconds to go. Once the game ends here, we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll come back and wrap up with the Pixelcast Media post-game show. Again, this is Chad Curry and Larry Holscher, two former coaches, again, enjoying a Friday night. Been able to connect with these games for it. But we're going to take a quick break here as the clock winds down, then we'll come back and talk about the post-game show.
Harvest, Oasis Crop Insurance is your risk management partner.
Oasis Crop Insurance, service from paradise.
Patriotic.
Innovative.
Dependable.
Family values.
Faith.
Trustworthy.
Ethical.
Community minded.
Loyalty.
Honesty.
Diverse.
Friendly. Committed.
Punctual. Customer service.
These are the values on which we built Bug Express.
Mom, we are honored to carry on your legacy.
Established in 1927, Schertz Landscape Company is as well rooted in the Texas soil as the nursery stock we grow and sell. Since the beginning, our knowledgeable landscape professionals have been here to keep your yard thriving, rain or shine. At Schertz, we believe in keeping our nursery stocked with quality products that flourish in the conditions we live in. We call the Concho Valley home, and you can trust us to have the answers for your project, big or small. When quality counts, you can depend on Schertz.
At VGI Technology, our mission is to connect and protect our communities using innovative technologies while providing an exceptional customer experience. Everyone on our team took part in creating this mission statement, and everyone on our team is committed to stand by every word. So for your home and office internet, security, cameras, and smart technology, call on your neighbors at locally owned VGI. VGI, to connect and protect.
First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa is a giant of a credit card. With great low rates, no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, and even a rewards option, First Community's Platinum Visa is the card for you. With security as a high priority, you can lock your card in case it's lost, stolen, or just to limit its use. So be smart, bank smart with First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa.
So welcome back. Again, this is Chad Curry with Larry Holscher. You've been watching the Wall Hawks versus Grape Creek Eagles on Concho Sports Network, presented by First Community Federal Credit Union. Hawks tonight with a big victory, 67-0. 1-0 in district, 5-1 on the season. Grape Creek Eagles are now 0-1 in district and 0-6 on the season. But a great effort by the Hawks tonight across the board. Coach, what's kind of your thoughts here to finish up the game for us?
Well, you know, Wall came in and they wanted to fix turnover problems, and they totally did that tonight. Their offense gained a lot of traction, got a lot of yards tonight, and their defense played exactly the way Craig Slaughter wants them to. They played fast, they played physical, and they made a lot of plays tonight. That's the Wall Hawks. You know, Grape Creek comes in and they fight for 4 quarters, and like we alluded to earlier, this is far from being done in district. You know, Brady goes on and beats TLCA. If they do, they're up 49-6 right now, and then early, if they were to finish out Ballinger. They're up 36-0. That kind of puts those three in the driver's seat, but that leaves a wide open race for 4 with those three in the driver's seat, if that's the way it all plays out over the next 4 games. You know, but one thing that I've always looked at with football is simply this. There's always going to be outsiders that will say this or that, but the people that find themselves on that field, they're winners to me. This ain't an easy game to get out and play, and these guys showed up, they played a game, and they can hold their heads up as they go back to that bus because, like I said, critics are going to talk, but it's the guys down on those field that really matter.
No, absolutely. And again, a great matchup for the Hawks tonight. You know, the Grape Creek just couldn't quite get it going. And we kind of talked about the looks like they've had some injuries, things like that. But as the district goes on, you know, and we'll see how the matches turn out, but it looks like with Ballinger next week for the Hawks and TLCEA the following week, the big 2 games for Wall will probably most likely be there early and Brady at the end of the season for them. So they got to keep getting better. Great step forward for them. But I said it's still 4 more games in district, and they all got to play well to get themselves set up, not only for a district championship, but also for the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And so we'll go around for some scores around the area, then we'll sign off here pretty quickly. But, Coach, you mentioned the 2 ones earlier, but Central's up 28-18 with 3 minutes to go. Sonora is up 38-6 over Ozona with 6 minutes to go. Cristobal's up 37-6 over Anthony with 6 minutes to go. Winters is down 29-0 in the 3rd quarter to Anson. Holly won pretty big tonight, 61-7 over Colorado City. Albany Lions are beating the Miles Bulldogs 49-18 with 5 minutes to go. And Wink is beating El Dorado 28-0 with 6 minutes to go. I think that's my last one I have on there. Yep. And Coach, any on there you want to make sure you mention?
The only other 2 is that Central District, Odessa Permian is 31-7 over the Bronchos of Odessa High. And I just had it. Midland Legacy is now losing to Wolford Friendship 54-28.
Well, some good games on a Friday night out here. It's been a great evening for football, and we thank you guys again for joining us here on the Concho Sports Network. We will be back next week as Wall Hawks play TLC. Oh, goodness, we'll blank on their mascot.
Ballinger Bearcats.
Oh, yeah, we're Ballinger Bearcats
Ballinger
next week. TLC next week. That's why.
Home next week, and then TLC's the week after at TLCA.
There you go. So thank you guys again. The Hawks won again tonight, 67-0 over the Grape Creek Eagles. We'll see y'all next week. Again, I'm Chad Currier along here with Larry Holscher. Thank y'all.